Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the second episode of Sundays with the Sprinkles. Hey, we didn't have the intro the first time, so I was a little confused on when I should start. So when we sat there for a few seconds with just nothing going on, I was a little worried.
Hey, it looks great though. I mean,
I am a
really
big fan of the
using
intro,
really using like Google Paint and stuff to the best of our abilities here.
and honestly, it
Um,
looks like we're at the Nokia Sugar Bowl too.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
always.
exactly. Our fearless producer, doing great things back behind the scenes. So thank you, Brandon.
Brendan Shanahan. Thank you, buddy. Yeah, I appreciate everything that you do for us. Tyler, it's week 12, Thanksgiving week. I told you to come dressed as a turkey. I noticed you don't have a turkey costume on. What's up with that? What happened?
Where was I going to get a turkey costume in like 24 hours notice?
Turkey store? What are we doing? There's got to be a turkey costume store somewhere around there.
Yeah, I guess I didn't put that
Benson,
much thought
Benson
into it.
definitely has a turkey costume store. I know that for a fact. Actually, we drove by one on the way to the airport.
I'm sure I could have just walked around downtown and probably just bought one from somebody.
Oh, so now you know exactly where they are. All right, I don't want to keep talking about this. I would rather get into the slate. Good weekend of games. What did you think? What were your takeaways right off the bat?
Well, I'm still undefeated as a married man.
Yeah, you are the best. Best
So
man.
that's good. Single-handedly lift the Broncos curse by just getting married. Some
Yeah,
would say it's the end of one life so another can begin. Um,
oh, some would say
yeah.
that. Not you though, right?
No, not me. Not
Okay,
me.
good. That's good. Yeah, well, I mean, happy you're married. Just found out that actually, do want to give kudos to our producer Brandon. He's having a baby, and also he's getting married soon. So congratulations to him, Brandon. Why don't you come on here, take your bow? Thank you, Brandon. I appreciate you coming.
No,
Oh,
I'm
there he
here.
is.
I'm
Okay.
here. Also, so thank you for the shout out. Also, probably even more important, I just realized that this is going to be the 100th video on the Corner Street Connection Network. So we're
Hey, the
cruising, we're
centennial
grinding.
episode. Let's
Yeah.
Let's go.
go.
So saving it for a special occasion,
Wah,
episode
wah, wah,
2, and
wah.
this outstanding agenda that we have here is very
Dude.
fitting.
Absolutely. Tyler, if I may, I would love to get into something that disappointed me a little bit this weekend. So I don't know if you noticed. I don't know how much ESPN you watched during the week, but Friday I noticed something cool while I was just kind of laying on the couch, just decompressing a little bit. Happened to turn on the Pat McAfee show, and I just saw a ridiculous number of people standing behind him. And I watch it sometimes. I don't really notice the crowd, especially when he's there at game days. But it seemed like a lot, and it was a lot. And even McAfee, admitted like this is the most they've ever had there. Follow that up with Saturday, 26,000 people. It looks lights out. You have PFT commenter, the legend up there, and they go out. They go up in the fourth quarter. They're up in the fourth quarter, and they just fucking drop a stinker. They lose the game, and I'm just so fucking upset at this team because there was so much hype. They're bitching and moaning, they're bitching and complaining, and then they just go out and lose to App State. Like, what are we doing? Why can't you just stay undefeated like you fucking promised you would be?
Well, I disavow the message that's on screen right now. I mean, Appalachian State is is actually elite
Mm.
at being the team that kills hopes and dreams. So that's their job, and they did it to perfection.
You know they do
So
have a
this is not
history.
on
What
JMU.
was it? It was the Michigan game with the blocked kick, right? They did it. They did it
Mhm.
again a couple years ago. Am I wrong?
Yeah, I mean they always play North Carolina really close. Yeah, they're just elite at destroying hopes and dreams. So I would say that this is not on JMU. This is all about Appalachian State and their dedication to ruining lives.
Okay. I mean, you honestly, you got me there. What you're saying makes a lot of sense, and it gave
Mm-hmm.
me something to think about. Um, I'm going to sit on that for a little bit. I'll get back to you in a few days. But moving on to the NFL slate, Steelers fire their offensive coordinator. Broncos win their fourth game in a row. Chiefs look like garbage against the Eagles. Is there any particular storyline that stands out in your mind?
The NFL's hatred of Kareem Jackson.
Free Kareem.
I just remember, solidarity, Kareem. I just remember when the game started, I was like, "Oh shit, Kareem Jackson's back," and I was joking with Trevor and Grant. How long until he gets ejected from this game? Turns out, it was
Should
the
have been
third
like
play of the game.
Clayton.
Yeah, should have been. Um, I just, yeah, it's hilarious to me how much he doesn't give a shit. especially since and no hate to Kareem Jackson, but he basically had to beg to be on the Broncos again this year. And thankfully we have him because our safety depth is really thin. But it's just hilarious, his dedication to putting people in the hospital. You gotta love it. It's like Appalachian State and their commitment to ruining lives. And Jackson part two
Jackson's
of like
also a big fan. Like him, Vontaze
Yeah.
Burfict, Appalachian State. The verbal meme, they're all just fucking just holding, like shaking each other's hands.
It's the Spider-Man meme where they're both pointing at each other.
I mean, speaking of the Broncos game, and hey, we are Broncos fans. We'll admit that right up front. We don't want this to become a Broncos podcast, so we'll probably never talk about the Broncos except for the 30 minutes a day that we do. That being said, that Broncos game was awesome. I'm all the way back in. I know the Broncos kind of got ran a little bit, but the defense played really, really nice, and that's my biggest takeaway from that game is how much I love Alex Singleton and how just that defense was just flying around.
It's funny because I took the exact opposite from that game, whereas we need two other guys to play linebacker, middle linebacker.
I disagree. I feel like Josie Jewell had a really good game. Singleton can't cover the pass very well, and that's that's been his issue the entire time since we signed him. But he flies around. He's really good at rushing the passer, and he's just really good at being around the ball all the time. I don't know if he's just not quick enough. I don't know if he has the awareness or the experience yet to cover the pass, especially, I mean, we saw that cover 4 zone where he was just in the middle by himself with a running back, and the running back just sprints for 23 yards and picks up the first down, which kind of hurt my feelings a little bit. But other than that, I felt it was a solid performance. Jaguars look good. Trevor Lawrence running around, 2 touchdowns. What do you think of that? Do you think his mobility adds an extra layer of game?
Yeah, and that's what I wanted. Just one last thing on the Broncos game is I was just like to see, one, I'm not a hater. Contrary to popular belief, I'm not a hater.
Tyler Sprinkle.
2 is we just need a little more athleticism. Whatever that means to you, that's what it means to you. So there we go. Yes, Trevor Lawrence, though. Most importantly, Calvin Ridley back from the dead.
Well, I mean, I feel like he'll have one good week every 8 weeks. So, like, he was planning on being suspended again, so he had that good week 1. It's like, oh, fuck, I got to take off now. I was like, what would a normal suspension be? And now he's back to catching passes. Do you think maybe just Trevor Lawrence figured out, oh, wait, you're still on my team type thing?
Yeah, I think it's like, every time I see number 0, it's like a long snapper or something. So,
Dabo Sweeney would never let a wide receiver have number 0. You're right.
Yeah, so he's probably just confused. They probably just had to go over some tape, say, this guy's wide open. What would you do? Trevor Lawrence, what number is he? 0. I'm not throwing it to that guy. So I think it was just kind of a process of them making him realize that he's an actually good wide receiver.
I mean, he still is kind of an experimental patient because he went through that whole ordeal with Urban Meyer. A lesser man would have just been ruined for his entire life. Luckily, he has Doug Peterson to save him, who I do think is a really good coach. Doesn't get enough credit. The only reason he was fired from the Eagles was because he benched Jalen Hurts in that Week 17 game, or I think it was Week 17 at the time. He would have kept his job, and the Eagles still would have been a really good football team. It's just bonkers to me that everyone kind of writes them off. I know Jaguars don't have the biggest media market, but I think it's going to be a good football team come playoff time.
Yeah, I mean their offensive line still leaves a little bit to desire. I would like to see Josh Allen be better, both, but this one in particular, because I think he is like a freak athlete and he could be way better than he is. Yeah, I mean they do look good.
Speaking of Josh, go ahead.
Good. No, I was just going to say, if Trevor Lawrence can actually be a good quarterback, a number 1 overall pick, I think they'll be fine.
Speaking of Josh Allen on the Bills, did you see, or just the Bills-Jets game in general, did you see Zach Allen slipping and falling when he was backpedaling out onto the field?
Zach Wilson?
Yeah.
I did not. I did hear about that. I did not see it.
Oh no, it was just a brutal clip. Like, he just slipped and fell. It happens to everybody, but whenever all those things are piling on you, you're not playing very well. Everyone on your team may hate you. Everyone in your fan base definitely hates you, and then you just slip and fall while running out onto the field and also not scoring a touchdown in 40 straight possessions. All those things kind of add up on you.
He has had quite the roller coaster ride. From top 10 pick to starter for the Jets to then back up to Aaron Rodgers, then to starter for the Jets, now the third string quarterback. And what? A 2-year span, 3-year span? Like that's tough for that boy.
That is wild. And everyone thought once he took off the headband, everything was going to be fixed, and it was for a day. And turns out that he might just need the headband back. I don't know what it is. Maybe the headbands don't help you play any better or worse.
I mean, if you ask Brandon, I'm sure that he would talk about Nathaniel Hackett being the cancer in that whole organization. Thoughts, Brandon?
My big thing with
hold on, time out. He took so long the first time. He was fucking ready to come in for that one. He was fucking had his finger on the button.
Well, I had to go and kick because you mentioned how much of a wild ride it is for Zach Wilson, and you're absolutely right. It's a wild ride. But you didn't mention the ride on his mom's best friend, so I thought you were going to go that route with it. Yeah, Nathaniel Hackett stinks.
This is a PG show, Brandon.
Yeah. All right. I'll tone it down. I mean, I don't think Nathaniel Hackett's the problem for Zach Wilson, but he definitely does stink.
Yeah, he's not good. I think it's funny. Actually, I had that visual in my head. Remember when Robert Saleh came out to greet Sean Payton after the Jets Broncos game, and he said, "Stay humble." Yeah. I think ever since then, the Jets are 1-5, and the Broncos are 4-1. I want to say.
Sure.
Sounds
we'll go
right.
with it.
Yep, sounds right.
Yeah, we said it, so it's true.
No, the Jets look like a dumpster fire. I think they're completely out of playoff contention at this point. I don't see how you get back into it. Your defense can only do so much. The punter Thomas Morstead's the best quarterback on that team, and like, what can you do with that? You know what
I mean? Also, Sauce Gardner's the biggest fucking fraud in all of the NFL.
Honestly, I hear you. I think because there's some weeks where I get frustrated, and whenever I'm frustrated, I'm stupid, and I think maybe Patrick Surtain isn't worth all the hype. You know what I mean? Because what does he do? And I don't know, maybe just people aren't throwing at him. Maybe his scheme wise, people rotate away from those guys. Sauce, I think he's a very good player personally.
Listen, if you can't tackle, you have no place on my team.
Can't cut it, right?
No.
Okay.
I would ship his ass anywhere but here.
So actually, tell me how your practices would run as a defensive coach. Walk me through.
No helmets, full pads, tackle.
Just Oklahoma drill for 55 straight minutes.
Yeah.
No defensive individual. Well, 5-minute defensive ND. You need a little individual training for your position.
Yeah. You don't leave the field till you're bleeding from the head or neck area. Then you tackle until you get it right.
All right, I like it. Yeah, maybe USC should hire you as their defensive coordinator.
I could probably be better.
All right, well, let's get off of last week. We're moving ahead this week. I'm excited, dude. Three. Well, actually, they're going to be pretty bad games. I'm looking at the spreads now. I saw historically these are 3 of the largest spreads on Thanksgiving. We have Packers at Lions. Lions are favored by 7.5. This is all according to CBSSports.com. I got this at 11 a.m. So the Lions could have by now.
Fucking 24 hours ago.
Yeah, it is. Actually, I think I love that part about the last show is that both of our lines were every single line that I was reading was just wrong, and we still had to just go off of it anyway. So I kind of like that fact. I'm gonna get my spreads for 3 weeks from now if I have to.
Yeah. One thing again back to Broncos just real quick. This is where it all comes crashing down. We lose to DTR. And it's not even going to be close. DTR throws for 430 yards.
Okay, false. I'm going to stop you right there. We're going to get there. We're going to get there. What you just said really kind of pissed me off, and I just don't fucking believe you, and I don't believe in you right now. We're talking about Packers at Lions. Spreads, Lions are favored by 7.5 at home. Historically, they do pretty okay on Thanksgiving. They kind of put up a stinker for 3.5 quarters last week against the Bears. Packers put up a full complete game. Got helped out by some key Chargers drops. there and late in the fourth quarter. Tyler, who do you like, Lions Packers, or do you have any thoughts on the game?
Yeah. This one's pretty easy. Lions by 15. 15 and a half.
15, huh? What uniforms do
15
you
and a
think they
half.
come out in? Do you think they do the grays or
Got to go all
They have-
gray. Got to go all
they
gray.
have an alternate?
Yeah.
A new alternate? What is it? Is it the blue?
Oh, I don't know. But I'm going all grays.
Yeah, I think they usually do that on Thanksgiving anyway, right?
Yeah, they're sick.
Yeah, they are kind of cool. Some people hate them. I don't get those people.
Yeah, big old dumpies.
Yeah. Dude, I was talking to a Broncos fan on Sunday. He said he hated the white helmets. I was like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard anybody say.
Yeah, big old
'Cause they're
dumpies.
so
Why don't you
cool.
put that on the screen, Brandon? That guy's a hater. That random Broncos fan's a hater. What about that?
Hey, Rodney from Crystal City Sports Pub, thumbs down.
Yeah. Hater.
Hater of the Year award.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at the next two games, 49ers at Seahawks. I kind of think the Seahawks can keep it close. I don't know if they pull it out. We still no word on Geno Smith. He might play, but it's looking like it's probably be Drew Lock, and Drew Lock looked like shit on Sunday. If it's Drew Lock, give me the 49ers by 1 billion. If it's Geno, I think they'll keep it close. What do you think?
Brandon, I need some assistance here. First of all, I love how we just don't go in chronological order. We just kind of skip around however we want to.
So whatever
But
catches my eye.
Please take over for me for Drew Lock.
Brother, it's a Drew Lock legacy game. I don't know what else to put it to. I mean, he's back. He's gonna ball. He's gonna throw 3 touchdowns to Noah Fant. Shelby Harris is gonna get a pick 6. They're gonna crush it. Drew Lock's gonna
Broncos Northwest is gonna kill it, is what you're saying.
Absolutely, dude. It's a Drew Lock legacy game. Watch out.
Drew Lock legacy game against the 49ers, against Kyle Shanahan, who could have been his head coach had Joe Ellis not been a huge piece of shit. Allegedly.
Yeah, big surprise.
Allegedly.
Yeah, Drew Lock's gonna put up huge numbies. They still lose, but Drew Lock's gonna ball out. And I think, being honest, I think if Geno Smith starts with his elbow injury, I think it's a lot worse than if Drew Lock starts for them.
You think so?
Yeah, because he's not going to be able to throw the ball very well. At least Drew Lock can throw the ball.
In my mind, if he's playing, he's throwing. He could throw the ball. Like, that's not upcoming Drew Lock.
They sent him back out there. He couldn't throw the ball.
We're going to be a few days away, a few days removed. What I'm saying is he's not going to be starting. He went out there again. He couldn't throw the ball because Drew Lock just fucking stunk. That's the reason why he had to go back out there. A few days removed, if he can't throw the ball, he's not going to be playing. It wouldn't make any sense, especially with Kenneth Walker being out, it looks like. I like Zach Charbonnet. I really do. Would they get him in the second round after getting Kenneth Walker last year?
Every time I see Cabinet on the field, I get so pissed.
Charbonnet?
Yeah, because one, his name is dumb. It's definitely Cabinet.
You can't even fucking pronounce it. What do you mean it's dumb?
Yeah, I can. But
What is
two, because I have Kenneth Walker on almost all of my teams, so seeing him run around out there just really irks me.
Yeah, it hurt my feelings. It definitely lost me a fantasy matchup.
Yeah.
I don't want to spend too much time on Commanders Cowboys. I think we saw it last week against the Panthers. The Cowboys can beat up on bad teams. The Commanders, I don't know why they haven't fired Ron Rivera yet. I don't know what they're waiting for.
There's no
Why
point
wait
to in the middle of the season, I don't think.
I don't know. I keep hearing things like, why not make Bieniemy the interim head coach? Give him a shot. Why not, do this, and this? The team just looks terrible as it is. I don't know.
I don't think they look that bad. They're definitely worse since they traded to start offensive linemen. But I do think that Sam Howell still has a pretty good game. I think he throws for 250 yards, a couple touchdowns. I think he'll still show out and continue showing them why he should be the quarterback of their future.
I'm worried that Michael Parsons is going to kill Sam Howell. I'm worried that Sam Howell will be in a grave by the end of this game.
Sam Howell's got a big body. He ain't going nowhere.
He's got a big body, but he might be how many sacks did he take last week? I think he's going to take more sacks this week. He's going to be in a body bag by the third quarter, and they're going to need to give him adrenaline just to get him back out there. Just
hey, whatever works. Keep the smelling salts on.
Warrior mentality. Next man up.
Yeah, exactly.
Dolphins Jets first Black Friday game. That's kind of exciting. I wish it was a different game, but Dolphins at Jets. Dolphins favored by 8 at home
10.
Against the spread. I kind of like the Jets to cover that.
I mean, it's Tim Boyle versus a whole track team. Next,
So
I mean, that one's easy.
Your pick is the Dolphins, is what you're saying?
And it's even larger now. It's Dolphins by 10. So, and I'd take that in my sleep.
I'm not taking that. 10 is too much. On the first Black Friday, you don't think it's going to be a close game? You don't think in the script they're saying, hey, Jets got to lose by 3?
No.
Okay, fair enough. All right, smart guy, talk to me about Saints Falcons. Who do you like in that one?
Saints, Falcons. It depends.
Falcons
Who's
favored by
starting?
what?
Yes, who's starting for the Falcons?
Quarterback?
Yeah.
That's a really good question. I did not.
If
look
it's
that up.
Desmond Ritter, I like the Saints. If it's Taylor Heineke, I like the Falcons.
I think no matter who it is, I like the Saints. I just think that division is so weird. Anybody can win any given week, but they could also lose in horrific fashion. The AFC South is one of my favorite divisions in football.
You just have to remember that Dennis Allen is still their head coach.
That's a good point. He's really boring. God, remember he was the Broncos defensive coordinator? He was so cool then. Just nothing but bad ever since.
No, I don't actually.
You don't really?
I actually do not remember that.
Yeah, no, it was like him and Adam Gase. I want to say it was like 2015. They were both our 2014 maybe.
Damn.
Dennis Allen was our defensive coordinator. No, that was Del Rio. Doesn't matter. Okay, moving on.
I do not remember that.
Steelers Bengals. This is going to be a stinker. You have Jake Browning on one side. You have Kenny Pickett, Mitch Trubisky on the other side. New offensive coordinator for the Steelers. Do you think that's really going to change anything?
Brandon, write this down. Jaylen Warren legacy game. That boy is a monster. I've been telling Trevor all year. Najee
So this
Harris
is legacy
is
week for you,
poop.
is what you're saying.
Yeah, well,
This is your
Drew
third
Lock,
legacy game
Jaylen
that you're
Warren.
calling.
No. 2.
Was there a third? Brandon, was there a third? Did you write that one down? His third.
He
legacy
wrote
game?
it. He wrote it himself.
Yeah.
Desmond Ritter legacy game. Jaylen Warren update.
All right. Well, what's Jaylen Warren going to do? Why is he going to have such a big game? Do you think?
I mean, they hardly give him the ball for some reason, but when he gets the ball, he's so electric. And I think with a new offensive coordinator, they're actually going to have eyeballs to see, wow, Jaylen Warren can actually move faster than 1 inch per second. And behind that offensive line, you need speed. Najee Harris, yeah, he's big and tough, but he stinks. He's no Derrick Henry. He wants to be Derrick Henry so bad. I mean, he's just not good. Give me Jaylen Warren. He's going to have probably 130 yards rushing, 60 yards receiving, 1 receiving touchdown.
I like how you're looking down, like you're looking at your spreadsheets. Like, yeah, no, it's matching up. Like, looking at the numbers, look at how many people are going to be in the box.
Well, I might have that.
Tyler
Or maybe
prepared. That's why I love him. So, hey, one of us has to come prepared. I didn't know who was starting for the Falcons. He knows exactly how many rushing yards Jaylen Warren's going to get. That's the duality, man. That's the duality of this podcast.
That's right.
I like the Bengals at home dog, and both these teams are just going to be weird. New offensive coordinator really isn't going to do anything. I disagree with you in your Jaylen Warren take because I have Najee Harris, and since Kenneth Walker's out, I need Najee Harris to start playing the game of football a little bit more than he has been, so I just need him to do it.
You might as well just have an empty spot because he's getting maybe -1.
Jaguars Jaguars favored by 1 on the road.
2.
Favored by 1 as of yesterday. I really like D'Amico Ryans. I love CJ Stroud. I love Tank Dell. I love this Texans team. Those red helmets were awesome last week, and I need to see more of it.
Yeah.
I think the Texans win this game. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it would be great if the NFL just didn't have a big old poopy in their pants all the time and just let teams wear whatever they want, a la Oregon. I mean, it would just be sweet. There's no reason not to. Actually, there might be a reason.
Well, hey,
the reason is because the owners don't want to pay for all these uniforms, I think. Big brain stuff.
Would it really be that much, though?
I don't know, but that's just my theory. Yeah, give me the Texans. I mean, CJ Stroud, MVP. I mean, right now, he's got to be the front runner for the MVP. I don't know who else you could sit there and say, like, maybe Jalen Hurts, but Give me CJ Stroud. He's just been so impressive.
CJ Stroud, but honestly, we were talking about the Jaguars earlier. They look really, really good, so I feel like we're kind of writing them off a little bit. Like you said, they do
No.
have question marks on defense. That offensive line could be a little bit better. It really all depends on how that young defensive line from the Texans plays.
You know what? It is legacy week. Will Anderson 4.5 sacks.
Let's go, dude. Give me more legacies. Brandon, put it on the ticker. God,
Will
lean
Anderson
into it. Let's get some legacies on the
Jr.
board. All right, I need
legacy
to come up
game.
with some legacy games. All right, next game, Buccaneers, Baker Mayfield legacy game. The Colts should have signed him last year. They didn't. They went with Matt Ryan. They went with Gardner Minshew. They went with somebody else. I'm not going to remember their name. It doesn't matter. Baker Mayfield's going to go off in the dome. Colts favored by 2. Doesn't matter. Buccaneers win by 6.
Okay. I like the energy. I'm trying to figure out a way if I could say the opposite, but I don't think so. I mean, Husker legend. Ready for this? Okay. Trey Palmer legacy game. He's gonna have 113 yards, 3 touchdowns, and he's gonna have a rushing touchdown.
A whole rushing touchdown?
Yeah.
Okay, I see
Speed
your
kills, baby. Speed
I
kills.
see your Trey Palmer legacy game with a Mike Evans legacy game. Baker Mayfield, Mike Evans are going to hold hands into the end zone 7 times. Baker Mayfield with 3 rushes. Mike Evans with 4 receiving touchdowns.
Wow.
Legacy.
That would be crazy.
That would be kind of crazy.
That would be crazy.
I don't know if I believe that, but I felt like you were trying to one up me, so I had to go up again. So
Trey Palmer legacy game.
I don't want to talk about this game too much. I think this is kind of the easiest game to pick all week. I really like Patriots. Sorry, I should introduce it. Talking Patriots and Giants. Patriots favored by 3.5 in MetLife. Excuse me. I love that. I think the Patriots win. I think this is easy.
Yeah, I think the defense is gonna be really good.
Yeah, Bill Belichick off a bye, rookie quarterback, Tommy DeVito. I think this is one of the biggest locks of the week in my eyes.
Brett, do you see what Brandon put on the ticker? What does that say? Can you read it for me? It's kind of blurry.
Iowa father, Trey Palmer legacy game.
Oh,
That's a real interesting message coming from somebody who was too afraid to invite me on their Cornhusker podcast for the Iowa game this week. That's okay. We can talk about it later. We can talk about it a little bit later. Hey, how's that Matt Rule? Is he interviewing for the Texas A&M job, or is he just waiting on the plane to come and pick him up?
No, that was fake. I mean, in a world full of fake news, you read one message board and you're like, "Oh yeah, it's definitely happening."
You know, in journalism school, they teach us to follow all leads, and that's just what we're doing. We're just trying to unravel things.
Mm-hmm. Next.
I hit a sore subject. Go Hawkeyes. Panthers at Titans. I like the Titans here.
Yeah, I mean, pretty easy.
Cardinals, Rams. Rams favored at +1.
It's a pick 'em. Right now, they're half-point favorites.
Toss up. Give me the Cardinals. I think with Kyler Murray, they kind of unlocks a little something new, and they look kind of fun right now. A lot more than they did with Josh Dobbs.
Yeah. Although,
who played really well in that Broncos Vikings game, I thought. The Broncos defense was just all over the place, and you could tell he just wasn't comfortable most of the game. And he's not that accurate either. That's kind of
tough. With Cooper Kupp being down, and I know they still have Puka Nacua.
And Tutu Atwell.
And Boo Boo Atwell. I still think that Matthew Stafford might be a little hurt. So give me the Cardinals by a field goal.
I like that. Okay. You know what? No, we're going to go Chiefs Raiders +9.5. Chiefs coming off of a tough loss on Monday night. Give me the Chiefs all day. I don't think the Raiders stand a chance in this game. I think the Chiefs are going to literally score 50 points.
You're not thinking about the cigars in the locker rooms.
They're going to have them ready too. Yeah.
They
might even bring them out on the field. Like you score 1 touchdown, go up 7-0. Raiders just start lighting cigars.
They might even like grow up and buy like hookahs or something. It should be a blast. Give me the Chiefs by
They're just
15,
blowing jewel
vape
into each other's faces.
Yeah,
that'd be kind of nice. Good for them. It's building team camaraderie.
Yeah.
Bills at Eagles -3.5. I want to talk about this game a lot. I think this is going to be a really good matchup. we talked about the Chiefs coming off a tough Monday night game. Eagles came off an equally tough Monday night game at the Chiefs. I think it was kind of an emotional win. Jalen Hurts didn't look the best, but the defenses just balled out in that game. Bills may have unlocked something. They're the underdog by 3.5 points in Philadelphia. I really, really like the Bills in this spot, at least to cover, if not just to win outright.
I would like to talk about how the Eagles did not win that game, but Travis Kelce lost that game.
Ooh, talk to it.
Is
Talk to us
he
about
is
it.
he heartbroken that he had his heart set on Taylor being there? Doesn't show up, kind of ghosts him, if you will. So there might be some issues there. People are talking about, reschedule concerts. Don't believe that.
Some people are
Taylor's
saying
pissed.
murders. Two people died. Some people were robbed. People aren't talking about that yet.
So there's something going on in that household. I wish them all the best. I hope they figure it out. So with that being said, I think James Cook is a better running back than Isaiah Pacheco. Isaiah Pacheco just runs like a psychopath. So if they can lean on that ground game and do what the Chiefs were able to do against the Eagles, I think the Bills win. I think they win late. I think last second. I think whoever has the ball last in that game was going to win.
I can see that. It's going to be both. It's going to be two really good offenses. The Eagles feel like they've found their defensive identity, and they played really, really well against Patrick Mahomes. He looked uncomfortable that entire game. And one thing we didn't bring up with the Chiefs is, when are we going to start talking about there's too many distractions around this team? You know what I mean? Any other team in the history of the NFL ever, like, we'd be talking about, there's too many distractions. They're literally flying to Vegas. They're flying down to Buenos Aires to see a concert on their bye week, and then flying all the way back the week of the game, a big game. Some would say Super Bowl rematch. You're trying to decide, figure out where you are as far as the league, talent level, and then you're just like blowing it off to go do whatever.
Listen, love is love.
Doesn't seem like a team that's dedicated to winning at this point.
Yeah, as Brandon now knows, love is love. You can't stop love. Love will never stop you. Not a distraction, just love.
Love might stop the Chiefs. Second to last game on our Sunday slate, we have Ravens at Chargers. Ravens are favored by 4. I think the Chargers win this. This seems like a game the Chargers win. I don't know. Like, I literally have no other analysis other than the fact that the Chargers, they'll win 1 out of every 3. Like, that's just what they do. This is probably the one.
I mean, Justin Herbert's starting to get a little pissy on the field.
He did
with his teammates.
I saw that.
Lots of turmoil there.
The delay game.
I think they can kind of feel Brandon Staley on his way out. I think he's lost that locker room. Gave me the Ravens by 20.
20. Sheesh. All right. Well, Tyler's going to take the alternate line there. Last game on Sunday, the game that might end this podcast after week 2, because I just can't believe you said that. The Browns at Broncos. Broncos favored by 1.5. How do you think DTR, with everything you've seen and everything that the Broncos defense showed last week against an equally as experienced quarterback in my eyes, that you think they're going to come out and beat the Broncos?
So I want to make this very well known. I don't think we played that well on defense. Yes, we were better at forcing turnovers, which, I mean, he threw the ball to us twice.
Thanks.
Pretty easily.
Yeah. I mean, you got to catch those.
But they were able to run like pretty much on whenever they wanted to. They were throwing like wide open receivers for the most part, like TJ Hawkinson. They just butt ass naked like quite a few times. I don't think that they played super well. And I think that this could be a game where Russell Wilson slips back into last year's habits and turns the ball over against a top-tier defense in this league right now. I mean, we all know that he loves to fucking fumble. Myles Garrett gets in that ass a few too many times, and he has 4 forced fumbles himself. So,
yeah, fumbling is his favorite activity, second to making weird, cringy videos on the internet. I understand, and I agree with you. I'm not going to lie. You're making some good points. The run defense does scare me a little bit. I just don't think we have the guys up front. Not talking about the linebackers. Linebackers are great.
I was gonna say, I said that earlier.
I was thinking defensive line, maybe not the guys you really want. Even though Zach Allen's been playing pretty well, I really like Browning. Nope, talking myself back into it. Still love the Broncos. Let's go 5 in a row. DTR, I don't think he gets it done at Mile High. It's going to be a tough environment. I do think you're right. I do think Russell Wilson turns the ball over, but I also think the Broncos get some turnovers as well.
Listen,
12 turnovers in
hoping
3 games is no laughing matter. Like, that's a lot of turnovers.
I'm hoping they win,
It doesn't sound like it.
but I'm just realistic.
Okay. Last game of the week. Bears at Vikings. I actually have a stat for you for this game, talking about the spread for all you gamblers out there. The Bears have lost every single game on the road this year by 5 or more points. That is the worst record against the spread on the road, I guess, this year. And they're underdogs by 3.5. I kind of like the Vikings here. Based off that stat. Your thoughts?
Go Bears.
Justin Fields looked
Those
good.
are my
Justin
thoughts.
Fields looked good up until that last fumble. The Bears defense is flying around, but they still stink a little bit. I don't think they can close games out. And the Vikings are a good team. They're really well coached. And the reason why the Vikings looked so good on Sunday night was because Kevin O'Connell's play calling. And I think they're a really good team.
Yeah, you're making sense. But go Bears.
Hey, can you put that in the ticker, Brandon, please? Just real quick. Just put it down there. Brett is making sense. Well, that's the slate. By the way, I didn't write down my picks from last week. Did you write down your picks from last week? All right, maybe in a few weeks we'll let you know what the updated standings are.
Yeah.
There it is. Hey, breaking news. I do want to start a new segment. Brett's best bet of the week.
Oh, here
I
comes shit coming pouring out of your mouth with fucking Iowa shit. So
I do love. No, that is not my. Actually, if the under in that game would be the best bet of the entire millennium. However, no, this is an NFL podcast. Everybody knows we love talking about the NFL. We haven't talked about college football, and I don't think ever in the history of this podcast. I talked about the Bills-Eagles matchup. I do love Bills 3.5 for everything that I said earlier. Eagles coming off a tough Monday night game. Bills are really good at losing by 1 score. That is one skill that they have. Josh Allen's going to throw a late pick, or they're going to score a late touchdown to go down by 2 points, and they're just not going to get it done. That's definitely going to happen. That's already decided. So Bills plus 3.5, I think, is a great pick. And hungry dogs run faster. They got to keep it close. I think they're going to come out ready to play. And the Eagles had a pretty emotional win, would you say, coming off of beating the team that beat you in the Super Bowl? How would you classify that win?
It's certainly a game you get up for, but I don't know if it's quite emotional because they want the real thing. I don't think that they really care about this game in particular, like you would about the Super Bowl.
But you don't think there was just a little bit of animosity on that field, especially throwing Patrick Mahomes around, seeing him bitching, crying, and moaning, and complaining like he normally fucking does? Nobody talks about that enough either. The guy's just always fucking crying.
Yeah,
crying
he's a
and
big
pointing.
baby. I think
he's a big.
we mentioned that before.
Yeah.
On other shows here on the network. He's a big baby.
Wait, what other shows are on the network? Shout them out.
Cornhusker Connection, Go Big 12 or Go Home, Bookie Brook and the Boys.
Bookie Brook and the Boys. How's he doing with the Florida State news, by the way?
I don't know. We're about to talk to him. We're going to figure all that out.
So that is least surprising news. Patrick Mahomes is a baby. So that is Brett's best bet of the week. Go to your sports books, put that in, promo code Brett. You won't get anything out of it except for the satisfaction that you're going to win, probably $9. So congratulations. Tyler.
Yeah, put that code in and it's going to be code unrecognized.
Tyler. So our favorite segment on the show, Home Dog of the Week. My favorite home dog of this week is going to be the Arizona Cardinals +1 against the Rams. Tyler, who is your home dog of the week?
I don't really like a lot of home teams this week. I'm going to be real honest. I mean, I'd like to say the Lions. I mean, I think that 7.5 is kind of low for what Detroit's about to do to the Packers. This is personal, and they're going to do it to them.
But they already did the personal thing earlier this season.
Well, Colorado did it fucking 12 straight weeks, so.
Fair enough. All right. All right, so my home dog is going to be the Arizona Cardinals. Yours is the Detroit Lions. Sure thing. Tyler, I tried to get out of you last week. You blew me off, and it was a little upsetting, and I almost didn't want to come back here today. I just want to know what's pissing you off this week. Let it loose. Let it out.
The
There's
state of
anger in
Iowa.
there. The state of
The
Iowa?
state of Iowa.
Good.
Yeah.
Rip fucking treat, bitch.
I'm coming for that ass. The Cornhuskers are coming. We're going to get bowl eligible. And then you guys are going to go on to the Big Ten
Coming on your own
championship
fucking
game,
chest and cleaning it up like a bunch of fucking
which
cucks.
is your fucking Super Bowl. You guys are so excited about that. What we care about is going to a meaningful bowl game. You guys care about going and getting fucking blown out by Michigan or Ohio State.
How can you hate from
You
outside of the
guys
club when
might
you can't even
not
get
have-
in?
Hey,
You can't
God
even.
damn it. I'm talking.
That's true.
You guys
Tyler's
might not
pissed.
have
Hey,
a
guys,
single
Tyler's
yard
pissed.
of offense in the first half.
That
That
might be
fat fuck ass quarterback, again, probably a great guy. That fuck guy quarterback, DeMarco, whatever the fuck his name is, fuck him. He stinks. They're not going to have a single yard of offense in the first half. Their punter is going to quadruple their yards by the time the game is over.
Yeah, he's the best punter in the nation. That's a compliment you just gave me. Look, death, taxes, Iowa scoring 15 points per game and winning the Big Ten West. You could set your alarm clock to it. That should be the real daylight savings time, is whenever Iowa eventually, earns their bid to the Big Ten championship, and Nebraska's, trying to claw and scrape for a 6 win so they can go to a quote unquote meaningful bowl game that's probably going to happen on December 21st. Everyone's going to be at work during it. The Duke's Mayo Bowl out there in Baton Rouge.
Listen, it's easy to be the best punter in the league when you're punting 15 times a game.
He's getting the work, dude. Let him get the work in. It's all about reps. Get out there. Show it off, young man.
I haven't knew what's pissing me off. This fucking guy.
Oh, dude, it's going to be a fun game. That's going on Friday. That's the real Black Friday game. I don't give a fuck about the Dolphins Jets. Oh, it's going to be all about the Hawkeyes and Huskers.
Yeah.
Brandon, what's pissing you off this week? I'm curious.
So I'm already hearing a buzz that Iowa is resting their starters for the Big Ten championship game, just setting up that perfect excuse for when they get beat by a 6-win team who with a first-year head coach, just off of getting spanked by a backup head football coach last year. So I'm already seeing the blocks put into place here. It is what it is. That's just what happens. People make excuses when they lose to us. I'm glad the streak was over. It's a long streak. I'm glad you're enjoying, this Big Ten West championship. Last time we'll ever see Iowa in a Big Ten championship game. So really do please enjoy it. Have a great time. Rub it in our face. I mean, just really enjoy it.
Yeah, make sure you go get your backpacks and your shoes
go get
and stuff.
Some t-shirts.
Make sure you frame it all. Make sure you put it in the locker room. Make sure this is what we used to be. I'm actually surprised that they're not leaving the Big Ten because they're so fucking scared of what's coming in the next few years.
How can you be scared of hypotheticals and just hyperbole and just talking into microphones? That's all you guys do is just talk.
You think I'm talking about Nebraska? You think I'm talking about Nebraska? I'm talking about USC, UCLA, Washington, all coming in just to shit in your mouth.
And the one highlight Iowa's had over the last 10 years is now over because Nebraska's back. So that we ended that silly little streak last year.
Nebraska's back to what? Losing
in a group of 5
coach,
quarterback, and now we're back. It is what it is.
Is what it is. Okay, so one thing you said kind of pissed me off a little bit, and would you consider? I don't think Matt Rule's a first-year head coach. It's his first year in Nebraska.
Well, yeah,
but he's nowhere near his first year as a head coach.
Brett?
He's been at Nebraska 1 year, but he was just an NFL head coach previously. Yeah. He spent 4 years at Baylor. He spent 4 years at Temple. I made all those numbers up, but I'm pretty sure I was right on 2 of them. He's an experienced head coach. He's a seasoned head coach. He knows how to recruit in the country. He knows how to recruit great teams. It's not like you guys are just like, it's not like you guys have Scott Frost up there who coached at UCF once and then he became your head coach and just was a disaster. Oh, wait, you guys
Listen.
did that.
What you're not thinking about is in the NFL, yes, you're no longer a first year head coach, but when you go to another college program and you have to rebuild that program, you are then again a first year head coach, in my opinion.
In your opinion, just like starting over, it's like born again version. He's got rebaptized.
Because
Well, good for
you're
him.
starting
His
from
first year
you're
as
starting
the
from
head coach.
zero.
I don't know what
and
else to
you're
call it.
rebuilding. Yeah.
It's his first year at Nebraska.
Okay, then pretend I said that. That's the same thing.
Yeah. Idiot.
All right, whatever you
I hate
guys
that
say.
that's the point you took away.
Yeah. It's
it
because he
was all these
couldn't
things.
talk shit about anything else. Everything
No,
else you
dude,
said
like
was
honestly,
facts.
when you
I mean,
said
there
the
were so
USC
many
and Washington
flaws
thing, I was
in
like,
my
fuck yeah,
little
you're right. I
rants.
never thought about that.
There's so many flaws, and that's the one that you go with. I appreciate it.
I'm
gotta
surprised you
clean
guys
this up.
aren't heading to the fucking ACC just to get away from the big bad other teams that are coming to you.
Well, they got Stanford in the ACC now. Remember what happened last time they played Stanford? I do.
Oh,
It was
tough.
bad. It wasn't great.
Yeah.
It was not fun.
Not as bad as Nebraska's last Rose Bowl, by the way, against like an all-time great college football team. I've mentioned that 100 times on this channel.
Yeah.
Because we've had 100 episodes now.
100 episodes.
videos.
Yeah, it's a centennial
Woo!
episode. Shout out one time for the one time. Here we go, baby. I will say. Oh, wait, we're all Big Ten guys. Are we rooting for Michigan all the way?
No
I'm
shot.
rooting for Michigan to win.
No.
Are you ready for?
I'm
Ohio
rooting-
State?
Definitely
I'm
not
all in.
Texas.
On the Pac-12.
Yeah, me too. Definitely not
Brandon and I
Texas. Probably
have
not
built our own
Georgia.
world.
So you guys just hate money, is what you're saying? You don't want your program.
I don't
to
get any of
I'm
this
not
money.
getting that
Like,
money. I don't give a
programs, like
fuck.
it's the ball. It goes to the program. You get your recruits,
care.
get your NIL money. It gets you
Listen,
new weight rooms.
What you got to realize,
the
Brett,
program.
is Nebraska has their own money printer. Like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, and Nebraska, and it might be different out there in Eastern Iowa, but and the money should never be an obstacle for Nebraska. It never should
Yeah.
have been, never should be, never will be.
Yeah, when you actually
Yeah, I
have
forgot
people that work and
The
make money.
financial powerhouse that fucking University of Nebraska at Lincoln is. I always forget that. People never talk about that enough. Apparently.
One of like a dozen profitable athletic departments with no debt. I don't know what you're talking
Yeah.
about. Like that's, I mean, you
Welcome.
can talk trash about our football all you want, but like our finances are in
Show me the
in
books.
check.
Show me the. I know. I would make you put your money where your mouth is. Show me the goddamn books, and we'll decide how much tax fraud's going on over there. Let me see the tax
All right.
returns. So I mean, that's pretty much the end of the show. What's pissing me off is you guys are just being fucking nincompoops. I don't really have any other thoughts. Go Birds. Go Hawkeyes. That's what we say. Black and gold, black and yellow. Wiz Khalifa's on our side all the way. Do you guys have any final thoughts, comments, concerns as we wind down this 30-minute episode?
Happy Thanksgiving.
Oh, happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. Go Big
Happy
Red.
Turkey Day.
Go Big Red.
Go.